guys, your boy Benny. A Freudian slip is when you believe something deep in the core of your very being, but maybe it's not politically correct or it's not the right time to say it, and you just say it anyway because what's true just blurts out. It just calls from the deep, right? You can't hide the truth, not for long. And there are some people who may be dealing with their own levels of senility, and Bill Clinton, as he's withering and wasting away in front of us, he doesn't look good, gets dragged out on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris and says something that is true, but is shocking to say, which is that Kamala Harris has people killed, that Kamala Harris's policies slaughtered young American women. Oh, and by the way, he's in the South campaigning, not too far from where Laken Riley was murdered, saying this.
Case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened. But if they're all properly vetted and that doesn't happen.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I...
There you go. Just put the Trump stinger at the end of it. Just run it. And they did. This is something that you can't hide from. The fact that Joe Biden's policies slaughtered Americans, killed Americans, and they deserve to be held liable for the deaths of these individuals. I really hope that the Laken Riley family sues Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, Alejandro Mayorkas, and every government official involved in crafting these policies that killed so many and are still killing so many Americans, creating the biggest cleanup problem for the Trump administration, the amount of criminals let into this country. And guess what Democrats were worried about? Well, one, they were worried about, I guess, saying Laken Riley's name correctly here in this clip from the State of the Union.
About him, it's not about me. I'd be a winner, not really. Laken Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
So, wait a second. You're saying it's your fault? Again, there are these moments of Freudian slips and senility, and here they are, ladies and gentlemen. That where the deep calls to deep, and your soul, like, it screams out, like, we literally, our policies killed these people, right? What did Democrats do in the aftermath of that? Democrats apologized for Joe Biden saying that she was killed by an illegal.
But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented.
Look at this. Look at these scum. Look at these traitors to our nation. They're sitting there worried about offending, mislabeling the criminal alien murderer, Nancy Pelosi. He should have said undocumented. Why did he say illegal? I don't know why you lost. This is why you lost. You lost because you don't give a shit about the American people. The American people could die and bleed out in the streets, and they are. And all you care about is woke ideology, the high church of woke ideology and paying off your friends in Ukraine. That's it. Your own stock portfolios. You bastards. The border's wide open. The streets are filthy and unsafe. The dollar and the national debt have spiraled out of control. You don't care about the country you supposedly lead. And that is why we kicked your ass. Hopefully for the next 50 years. Because you were worried about this murderer of an American. Have you seen anybody on the left say anything about Laken Riley? No, because they actually killed her. Thankfully, Laken Riley's killer will now get some justice, not enough. He's been sentenced to life, found guilty on all 10 counts, life without parole. Is it good enough? I don't think so. They have the death penalty in Georgia, and he should be retried with the death penalty. Justice for Laken Riley, the illegal who killed our beloved Laken Riley, was found guilty. Notice how Donald Trump says the illegal. of these horrific crimes, although the pain and heartbreak will last forever. Hopefully this can bring some peace and closure to the wonderful family who fought for justice and ensure that families don't have to go through what they have. We love you, Laken. Our hearts will always be with you. Time to secure the border, remove these criminals from our country. Nothing like this can happen again. Ladies and gentlemen, the commentary online against the people who apologized to Laken Riley's murderer is really something else. And oh, by the way, this is the district attorney who refused to seek the death penalty charge for Laken Riley's murder. Deborah Gonzalez with the rainbow "We Are Not Going Back" Harris Waltz flag. So I wonder where Deborah Gonzalez should be facing a primary. Just in case you're wondering if the insults have ended, the New York Times, a Venezuelan migrant, AP a man, and WAPO Venezuelan national, none of them saying illegal alien, none of them saying criminal alien gang member. The government failed Laken Riley every step of the way. Her killer was in federal government custody, crossing the border illegally, then released. He was released again as sanctuary city in New York City after an arrest. ICE was never notified. The New York gave him a taxpayer-funded flight to Georgia, according to the partner's testimony. How is that even legal? It is unacceptable at every single level. R.I.P. Laken Riley. In a just world, Laken Riley's murderer would be found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and would be swiftly executed. Life without parole is the next best possible option. I'm going to say it very, very clearly. This administration, current government, aided and is responsible for Laken Riley's death. It is treasonous. He was given a taxpayer-funded flight to Georgia to go rape and kill Laken Riley. They had this animal in custody, and they protected him. And what Democrats did was then they squabbled over Joe Biden calling him an illegal. We can call him a murderer. He was found guilty.
Illegal alien accused of killing Laken Riley. Hearing the verdict now. Let's watch.
Count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury. I find the defendant guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty. Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty. Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant guilty.
Democrats defended him. Democrats said, we're so sorry that we called you a mean name. Meaning we called you what you are, which is a criminal alien. Based on American tax, based on American law, based on the laws of the nation, that is what you are. Time for reality. Don't fight reality. Reality gets you this. This one's painful. I wrestled with playing it on the channel, but it played at the trial, and you should see it. It's Laken Riley's parents, when they found out that this monster had stolen their daughter from her and from all of us, and that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are directly responsible, and I hope that they sue the federal government for these policies. I really hope that's the next step here. Along with Corey Compertore's family. So much government incompetence leading to so much pain. It is time to set things right. Here's what it looks like. The end result of Kamala Harris's policies and Joe Biden's policies. This is what Democrats want for you and your family here.
What's up? It's late. Okay, let's step up here. Come on, let's go. Come over here, all right? It's not good. I don't want to tell you yes or no because I don't have names. I don't know who anybody is. I do know that this is a pretty sensitive deal.
That's what they endured.